Iko kwa mpango. Now, I said that I was going to respond to the issues, and I have been listening very carefully, and I have made enough notes. And I began listening ever since we agreed to have this meeting. And I asked my team at the Ministry of Education so that we can have a structured and meaningful outcome of this meeting, that ahead of this meeting, we engage your leaders so that they can tell us what you as unions and associations have agreed or want addressed by this administration. And I got this brief a few days ago. I know it was a product of consultation, engagement with the officials at the Ministry of Education, led by my CS. And again, this morning, it has been enriched by the leaders who have spoken ahead of us. And I must say that all these leaders who have spoken here on your behalf have added a lot of value to what we are doing in the education sector. Your input, your suggestions, the ideas that you are bringing to the table are progressive. They add value. They make what we are doing better than where we are today. And there cannot be any more patriotic engagement than what I see with this teaching fraternity. Nasema asante sana. Let me respond to the issues. Number one, first, let me say congratulations for signing a CBA with the Teachers Service Commission. I know there are many people who are not happy because there was no demonstration. You know? Wengi wanashangaa ati CBA imekuwa signed. How? Mbona sufuria haijapelekwa kwa barabara? Mbona hakuna maandamano? Mbona you know? But is there any reason for us to engage in the streets when we can engage in negotiation tables? There is absolutely no reason. And that is why there are people who are unhappy that this has happened without people quarreling. It is not necessary for us to have a quarrel when we can find an avenue for engagement and agreement. And I want to tell the teachers of Kenya that whatever it is that has been signed as a collective bargaining agreement, we will honor our part as government. And if there are any areas of improvement, we will look at them and we can review and we can even go beyond what has been signed in the CBA. In the context of what I told you earlier, that education is going to be central to the transformation of Kenya. We need more intellectuals. We need more people with ideas. We need more knowledge if we were to move Kenya from where it is to where we want it to be. So we will spare no effort in doing this. You have asked that we reduce the CBA cycle from 4 years to 2 years. I want to say that that is a useful suggestion. I am told from the presentation that has been made that it is possibly what is recommended, you know, globally, that maybe this should be the case. You also appreciate that we have a situation in Kenya. But Mr. Kuria says, even though we have a situation in Kenya, we must think, because this is a very important sector. So my first reaction is that I accept that this is the case, but Oja. Nyinyi mnataka kunichochea niseme maneno alafu. So first, you know, we have the CBA that we have signed. But my instructions to the team here is that the next time we are engaging, first, I accept that we need to reduce it. First, I agree that we need to reduce. Now, I want to leave it to the teams to go and sit down. Do we reduce it from 4 to 3 or to 2? Roger. So, I want, because we are engaging, Sindio? So, the teams here, TSC, Ministry of Education, and the teacher leadership here and Capture, now you have our mandate to go and review this downwards. Number 2, on capitation. All the good people who have spoken here on your behalf have spoken to the matter of capitation. And there are 3 issues, actually 4, that I see here on capitation. Number 1, you want the 50-30-20 to be respected because there is a problem. Sometimes there is delay. Most times there is delay. Let me put it that way. So I'm instructing the Ministry of Education to sit down with the Ministry of Finance. When I try to ask them what is the issue, they told me that because our financial year is June to June, and the education here is January to December, there is a bit of a disconnect. So we need to align. And now I am telling the Ministry of Education to sit down with the Ministry of Finance so that we can align this, so that we attain. And to give us a report by December so that we can begin the new year with better arrangement. Number 2, on this capitation. Our primary school section, both union and association, have said it correctly. At the moment, we are not meeting the 2,238 per student. We are sending about 1,400 per student. We must, live up to what was recommended by the Presidential Working Party. Same thing with our secondary schools. At the moment, we are at 17,000 out of the expected 22,000. And Kuria here has said it very ably. I agree with you that we must get it to where we want it, where it is recommended to be. Now, let me say this, that whatever the gap is, we have a gap of almost 800 in primary school and a gap of about 5,000 in secondary schools. Sindio? So what we will do, the next financial year, we will reduce that gap by half and close the gap in the following financial year. The Ministry of Education is properly informed so that whatever resources we have to find from wherever place, we have to close that gap in the next 2 cycles so that our learners can have access to education. If we make some savings, because as you know, we are currently going through a digitization process to make sure that we clean up. We are informed that there are ghost schools, there are ghost students, there is a ghost everywhere. So we have, we have agreed that we need to remove the ghosts. If we make enough savings, and we are told that it's possible to make enough savings, we could actually close that gap in one financial year. But I'm telling the ministry, whatever savings we make from the exercise we are going through, and I'm very happy that teachers are supporting, you know, the transparency and the integrity we want in schools. Because part of the success of Kenya is how we deal with wastage, pilferage, corruption. Are we together? And I'm very happy that when I got the report from the ministry that the unions, the associations, and the teaching fraternity are all in and they are supporting our verification of both schools and learners so that we can inject integrity into this sector. So if we make enough savings, we can close that gap of making sure that we release the 2238 for primary and the 22,000 and something for the secondary schools. I know there is also a request on matters to do with extracurricular activities. I saw it in my notes. So what I have told the ministry is that because beginning January, we will now be implementing the 3 pathways. The students who are in the arts, sports sector will now get capitation directly going to that sector, not as an extracurricular activity, no, but as a proper capitation for those sectors. If there will be any gaps after we implement that, then we will review and see what we can do. And please, TSC be taking the notes and the Ministry of Education so that whatever we agree with these good people, we can implement. On employment of teachers, you have said 2 things. You have said there are teachers who are 45 years and they haven't been to any class. Sindio? And with a little bit of time passage, they will retire before, before they get, they will retire from outside. So, and you have also said we must adopt a first out, first in model that prioritizes long waiting teacher graduates. So from this year, Ministry of Education, from this year, from what we are going to do in December, first out, first in becomes the first out, first in. And if it concerns primary school teachers, yeah, where it concerns primary school teachers, we must do an affirmative action. Yeah? And therefore, I want the ministry, the unions, and the association to sit down and give me, I want to know how many teachers are in this category where they are threatening to grow old before, and give me the financial implication, yeah, so that I can have a proper response for you. So if that analysis, Waziri, can be done, working with TSC and working with the teachers, so that we know how many are they. If there are not so many, we can do what Kuria was saying, affirmative, we can do Marshall Plan and get them in so that we can do that. Okay? Sawa sawa. So I want you to give me time to work on the numbers, and we will communicate through the ministry in the next 60 days on what we are going to do, and we can implement this going forward. Career progression, teachers' promotion. One of the biggest problems that we have had to deal with is, number one, delocalization. I think we have solved delocalization significantly. There is still remaining a small corner. Sindio? So, and number two, we have had teachers stagnating. In fact, stagnating in one job group for 10, 15 years, 20. Sindio? When this was brought to my attention, for the first time, we provided money specifically for teacher promotion so that we can create that pathway. We provided 1 billion shillings in 2023-24, 1 billion shillings 24-25, 1 billion shillings 25-26. And as a result, as was said by the teachers here, we are promoting an average of 25,000 teachers. Now, for the last so many years, there was a time we promoted almost 38,000 or almost 40,000. I have the statistics from TSC. So far, we have promoted in the last 3 years, teachers have moved up the ladder. 151,000 teachers have moved up at least one ladder. Correct? But you're saying we have 400,000 teachers, almost 500. It will take a while if we go at this rate. So my suggestion is that we will double the resources available for teacher promotion. From next, naelewana? So that instead of promoting 25,000, we will do 50,000. Tunaelewana? Siwache tuanzie hapo. Alafu tukikutana tena next year, tuone mahali imefika. Alafu tuone vile tutafanya. So my instructions to the ministry is that we double the money. We have been providing 1 billion shillings. We should provide 2 billion shillings and whatever is required so that the teachers, so that at least we can promote 50,000 teachers every year and move them up the ladder. Sawa sawa. You have also said something about teachers, head teachers at grade D1. Wamekwamia hapo. Sindio? Wamekwamia hapo. So, and all the other things you have said around that. I want a review of how much will it cost for us to do this so that I can then make the right decision. And again, that becomes the assignment these two gentlemen and their teams will undertake. Sawa sawa. I agree with you that CBG, you have said it with clarity, that you want us to review CBG. And therefore, I want to instruct the ministry, the teacher unions, please review with immediate effect CBG. And provide a guideline for us, Sindio, so that we eliminate any remaining vestiges of teacher delocalization. We must remove that. Tumekubaliana? So, wangwana, muketi chini, we want that CBG reviewed. Also, you have mentioned a matter that is dear to all of us, a matter of Sessional paper number 1 of 2025. In it is all the review of all the laws that would bring up to speed all the agreements and the reforms that we have agreed upon and that were championed by the Presidential Working Party. Somebody has asked here, ilipotelea wapi? Niko hapa na chairman wetu wa bunge, Bwana Meli, a former head teacher. Sindio? Yeye ndio chairman wetu pale bunge. Hiyo sessional paper iko wapi? Patia yeye microphone aseme.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The sessional paper is a product from the cabinet and it will be transmitted to Parliament. So we are waiting. So when you transmit, we shall take it up.
Okay. Can Waziri confirm where it is?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency. As you correctly said, the sessional paper is a product of the 13 bills that are undergoing processing through the AG and ourselves and Treasury. Once it is completed, it will come to Cabinet, then we'll submit it to Cabinet. It is work in process and we are working on it.
Okay, Waziri.
Thank you, sir.
Timelines. Can you give us timelines?
In the next... Yes. Yeah. Your Excellency, they will be ready for submission the next 60 days.
Okay. The minister is saying we give him 60 days. I cut it down to 45 days.
Thank you.
45 days. So the 45 days, Waziri, the 45 days starts running from today. So tutaanza kuhesabu. The Deputy President is here, atatusaidia kuharakisha huko cabinet. Alafu Meli na wenzako ikifika bunge mtajua vile mtafanya. Kila mtu acheze kama yeye. Ama namna gani? Okay. You have also recommended, because that's why I'm saying you people are very progressive, because everything you have recommended is reasoned. It is not a product of emotion. It's a product of knowledge and understanding. So you have also proposed that we establish competence-based education resource centers in every sub-county to support curriculum delivery. I want the chair of the committee in Parliament to take that because, because we have resources in CDF and we want to agree on how CDF is going to assist. I'm going to work with the committee of Parliament so that we can use CDF resources to deliver on these resource centers, because we understand the importance. So you can take it that we have agreed that we will provide this. And unless Meli is of a contrary opinion. But yeah, microphone atuambie kama ni sawa.
Excellency, CDF does 80% in education. And we'll just include it and we'll run it as part and parcel of the education programs we are doing.
Very good. You know, when Meli and his team asked me that they wanted to be part of this meeting, I'm sure he didn't know that he was going to be part. But it is good so that he can help me answer some of the questions. Indio? The other issue is the medical cover. I can see although you have said, yeah, I've seen that you have, the request is you want us to continue the medical cover the way it is. I am of a contrary opinion. The medical cover the way it is does not serve teachers. Let's be honest. Let us be honest. And I will give you statistics, right? I want to give you statistics. Mnanisikia? Because I have asked the ministry to work with professionals to tell us and to compare the teachers' medical package, the civil servants' medical package, and also the market, what is available in the market. On outpatient, the ratio is every teacher goes or uses this facility 1.8 times. The industry is 2 times. Civil servants is 2.1 times, which means access of inpatient by teachers is lower than civil servants, is also lower than the market. On outpatient, these are numbers. On outpatient, access to inpatient, on inpatient, access under your medical cover is 7%. Access by industry, what is available in the industry, is 12%. And access by civil servants is 14%. Which means teachers access half the time. You know? Mnanielewa? Ukitaka kwenda hospitali unapatiwa story hii, imekuwa sijui nini, Tumeelewana? Tuko pamoja? No, I was actually wondering how you people could say, let us continue with this thing the way it is. Number 3, still data on your medical scheme. On average, it costs 117,000 what you are charged for inpatient, on average. On average, the industry average is 100,000. Civil servants is 98,000, meaning you pay more for every visit than what others pay. So really, good people, you know, we cannot continue with this medical cover the way it is. Mnakubali? And I must commend your leaders, because we have engaged them. We have shown them the data. We have shown them the information. We have shown them where the rest of civil servants and where the market is. All they told us is that, before we sign off, let us go and ask our members. Sindio? Sasa, wacha niwasaidie. Hakuna haja ya kwenda kutafuta members ndio hawa. You agree that we review? Sindio? We review. And we make sure that it is in tandem with what others are getting. Are we together? As many as of that opinion say aye. The ayes have it. And thank you very much. These leaders, you have great leaders here. The other matter that you have asked is as members of the Kenyan society contributing to housing levy. Sindio? And let me just give you the numbers. Of the contributions that come to housing levy, teachers contribute 13%. Of the whole kitty, teachers contribute 900 million shillings every month. Sawa sawa? Is it every month or every year? Every month. Every month. Sawa sawa? And so, because you contribute 13%, sawa sawa, we have said that your request that 20% of the units, because of the job you are doing, you know, we don't want to say 13%. We have said instead of 13% being allocated to teachers, let us allocate 20% to teachers. So we have agreed to assign 20% to teachers, and the CS housing is here, the PS housing is here, and the desk is here. We are going to sign an MOU between our teachers and the ministry so that we can implement these 20% for teachers. Tumeshakubaliana? Students with special needs. Wametuambia ya kwamba, and I have been to many schools where our children with special needs learn. And I agree that teachers in that space, you know, require special attention. They do. So the two issues they have raised here is that we need to consider, you know, the request they have made. They have asked that we make them 2 grades. Let me approve 1 grade first. Twende hapo kwanza. Alafu, you will tell me the financial implication of the other one. But at least let us give them something. They are doing a good job, these teachers with special needs. Let me also ask the ministry, if 20,000 for their guides was agreed on a few years ago, sit down, review, so that we can see how much can we add. Instead of 20,000, how much does it go to within the resources that we can budget? On another matter, I think the final matter is you have asked that we fast track the full authorization of chemists to improve real-time data management, institutional planning, and tracking of education outcomes across all sectors. And that, I want the Ministry of Education to tell us. And anyway, they told me when I had a consultation with them yesterday, they said they are going to fast track the rollout of chemists so that we have correct data. Because you know very well, as the teachers here have said, we have schools in our register that says they have 1 student. How does a school exist with 1 student? Is that a school really? There must be something wrong. We also have schools, many schools, that have 25 students. How does a school operate with 25 students? And I agree that we said under the Presidential Working Party, we must have a minimum package for a school to operate. And so the ministry, after we have gone through the chemist process, we must then assess which are these schools that have so few students, and how are we going to have a minimum package? If the schools must continue to operate, then we must give them a minimum package for them to operate. And there must be reasons for that. You have recommended a Marshall Plan for the education sector, right? I want to ask you to be generous. Let us not have a Marshall Plan for education only. Let us have a Marshall Plan for Kenya. Sindio? Ile nimewaeleza mapema. You know? We can do it, good people. Just have faith. We can do it. Because if we believe in something, if we believe in our country, if we believe in our potential, it starts with us believing in ourselves. You know, doubt is the enemy of progress. And we must not be cowards. Unajua hata Biblia inasema watu waoga hawaendi mbinguni. Do you know that? When musome Biblia, cowards, they will not be in heaven. So we need to gather courage as a nation, believe in ourselves, drive our development, change our country, and take Kenya to the first world. Mnanielewa? So, walimu, I think we have significantly answered to the requests that you have forwarded to us. There are those we have said, yes, immediately they will be captured and we will action them. There are those that we have said we will engage further so that we can have a much more informed outcome. And I want to say I very, very, very sincerely thank you for responding to my invitation, for coming for this meeting, and I agree with you that because we have started the conversation, si karibu tunamaliza, because we have, oh yes, there is somebody reminding me there are issues of retirement, that it takes too long. There is something we are doing with that public servants superannuation fund. There is something we are doing there. But we have already straightened NSSF. When you retire, your NSSF benefits are ready within 10 days. That's what we have agreed. In fact, we're trying to work with NSSF so that your retirement benefits become ready in 1 day. That is where we are going. It used to be months. We brought it to weeks. Now it is 10 days. We want to take it as close as possible. When you retire today, you pick your check for retirement tomorrow from NSSF, wende nyumbani, wende usukume mambo yako. But I also want I want also to tell you the following. Mnanielewa? Because now, under what we have reformed, the new reforms we have done in NSSF, you are no longer contributing 200 shillings. Now you're contributing 6%. And government is contributing 6% for you. When you retire, you will actually have a very good package. You will earn a monthly. Forget about ile pesa ya kuchukua lump sum alafu inaenda unaoa bibi mwingine unazama. Sasa you will have a proper package, retirement package, a percentage of your salary, which you are going to earn mpaka uende safari ile ya mbali. So that is going to change, and you will be informed how that is going to change. But that does not mean that we don't deal with the issue that you have raised. So, my friends, mimi nawaenzi sana, you know, and I truly appreciate this engagement. It has helped us as a government to align the issues in education. It has given us insights and new ideas on how we can improve education outcomes. And it is because, as I told you, whether you talk about Malaysia, whether you talk about Singapore, or you talk about South Korea, education was central to their transformation. And that is why we are investing time and resources in making sure we get it right in education, because it is the catalyst for us to move into the future. But it is going to take the collective leadership, the collective courage of all of us to be able to move Kenya to the next level. And I am confident that I have your concurrence, that we are going to do this together. Walimu jameni, tumekubaliana tutembee hii safari pamoja. Mumekubali? We move Kenya forward. Tuwache ukabila. Tuwache chuki. Tuwache migawanyiko. Tuwache uoga. Tuende na mbele. Hebu nione wala wanasema tuendelea pamoja namna hiyo. Bas, Harambee. Harambee. Sasa 2 terms ni ya kufunga. Si ndio? Lakini tumekubaliana ile mambo ingine yote. Tafadhali ndugu zangu, really, I am passionately asking you to make this Kenya a reality. Make this new Kenya a reality. Friends, we can do it. We can do it. Tunaelewana? We can do it. Only that we have to be, you know, we have to be consistent, focused, and take the right decisions. Not necessarily, you know, populist things that do not get us where we don't want to go. We want to go somewhere, and we have to make the right decisions. So, asanteni sana. Unasema to postpone maswali to next meeting. Postpone maswali, eh? Lakini sasa niwaulize, si mumekuja?